Cameron Smith shook things up quite a bit with the PGA Tour right now after winning the British Open, but was lacking on his LIV debut. Still, he showed us he's one of the best for a reason with his latest win on the LIV Tour, which also got him his biggest cash prize to date. In this video, we'll be taking a look at Cameron Smith's big LIV win, so stay tuned. First off, Cameron Smith shows he won't fall behind after lackluster LIV debut. Cameron Smith won the British Open, but fell behind in his LIV debut. But now he's back to show that just because he made a mistake in his event doesn't mean he's not one of the best players in the world. That's right, he's finally claimed his first ever LIV victory, and that too in only his second event, not to mention the $6 million he pocketed. The event took place just outside of Chicago. Dustin Johnson and Peter Uihlein tried their best to keep up, but had to face defeat about 3 shots off. Cameron was one of the 12 major champions out of the 48 that were competing at the Rich Harvest Farms. He dominated the field for the whole game and, just as expected, delivered an incredible performance right to the end. In the 54-hole event, he shot a 3-under par 69 in the final round, which took place on Sunday. He reached 13 under and just like that, secured his first prize of $6 million. When he was asked about his victory, he mentioned that he had felt like he had to prove to others and even himself that he was still the greatest player who had secured the number 2 spot in the world golf ranking. It's an understandable feeling. He's been criticized by a lot of people ever since he shifted tours. An example of this is the 9-time major championship Gary Player. Next up, Gary Player's opinion on LIV isn't very positive as he compares it to the PGA Tour. Gary has criticized all the players for joining the LIV Tour. When he was questioned about it, he said that the Tour's 54-hole event would never be equal to PGA's original, and everybody that defected to it were those who had no confidence about being winners. He then continued on a lot about Cameron and how shocked he was that he too had defected. The legend said that the golfer had the potential to be a superstar, yet he destroyed his chances. This and other opinions led to Cameron having to make sure people didn't question him, and it didn't help that he lost his debut because of one fatal mistake. He said that he was proud that he had managed to hang in there during the final round. He admitted that the first 8 or 9 holes weren't exactly his best, and that threw him off a bit, but he stood firm and managed a few good putts that felt even better than his set holes. After the others were finally left behind, the stage was set for the best players in LIV and 2 of the best players in the world to go against each other in a final round duel. Cameron, being the overnight leader, started the day 2 shots clear of his opponent, and this disadvantage and a bogey at the first hole led to Dustin falling 3 shots back. But that doesn't mean he didn't put up a fight. Both of them birdied the next hole, but Cameron bogeyed the 4th and 6th, causing Dustin to pretty much catch up with him. Thirdly, a look at how Cameron Smith ended up being the winner of the day, but then the 2-carded birdies at the par 5 7th, and soon after Cameron opened up the 3-shot lead with yet another birdie at the par 4 8th. Dustin, on the other hand, carded his first 2 consecutive bogeys on the same hole to reach 4 back, and just like that, his hopes of being the first LIV player to win multiple events went down the drain. Peter also got into the mix for some time, and at one point was just 1 shot behind Cameron, who was cruising along the back 9 until he bogeyed at the par 3 16. But soon enough, the Australian had reached the 18 3 shots just after a birdie at the penultimate. This was also backed by Peter carding a bogey. Cameron is by now the highest ranking golf player to have joined the LIV and will probably stay so for a while, unless maybe the number 1 made a sudden defection. He finished 4th in his debut event in Boston 2 weeks ago after he handed his victory to Dustin due to a bogey on his penultimate hole. Still, he missed the 3-man playoff by just 1 shot. Dustin may not have won this particular event, but he did help his team, the 4 Aces, to victory. The team includes Patrick Reed, Taylor Gooch, and Pat Perez. They won the team competition for the 4th consecutive time and split the prize money of $5.4 million between the 4 of them. Also, the golfer insisted that a decision be made about LIV points on the world ranking. Cameron Smith, after claiming his first LIV Golf win and biggest check of his career on Sunday, said that there must be a decision made soon on whether LIV Golf will receive world ranking points. points. The Saudi-backed golf circuit, which held its 5th event in Chicago last week, applied for recognition in golf's world rankings in July, and its file is still under review. The world rankings play a big role in deciding entry into golf's 4 majors. In the 3rd round in Chicago, during an interview, Smith said that he felt as if he needed to prove himself, and more so to other people, that he isn't the worst player just because he changed tours. Smith said that there's a lot on the line with the ranking points, getting into majors and stuff like that, and all that needs to be resolved soon. He said that the field here is strong and deep enough to where it warrants that. Smith earned an exemption into golf's 4 majors for at least the next 5 years due to his win at the British Open in July. Next up, Greg Norman's show also showed support for the world number 3. Greg Norman showed his support for Cameron Smith on Instagram after his victory at LIV Golf's Chicago event at Rich Harvest Farms. He also defended the world number 3's decision to join the LIV Tour. Norman celebrated Smith's achievement and also sent out a message saying that the LIV Tour is a family and questioned how the official world rankings could not award points to LIV golfers. Smith won his first LIV tournament event by 3 shots in just his 2nd outing. He also joined Greg Norman in asking for a decision to be quickly made regarding the official ranking points as they determine entry into the golf majors. Norman was supporting his compatriot and wrote a message asking who's questioning the real number 1 and 2 in the world. He also said that they, their families, wives, and caddies are all happy and that they're a family. He agreed with Smith, saying that they have given golf a heartbeat. Norman said that the fans hold everyone accountable and that they will hold the PGA Tour and OWGR accountable. He questioned how the OWGR could ignore the fact that the 2 best players in the world, Cameron Smith and Dustin Johnson, play on the LIV Tour. Finally, LIV Golf is in a pickle as OWGR makes no decision to allocate player points. The executives of LIV Golf have been growing agitated due to the slow process that may lead to the awarding of the world ranking points to all the players competing in the LIV Tour. Reportedly, the LIV Golf officials feel that they are being slow-played by the official World Golf Ranking. The OWGR is a non-profit organization that administers the program by which golfers around the world are ranked. Although the LIV Golf Invitational Series is in its 5th event this week in Chicago, none of its players received any world ranking points for competing in any of the previous events, and up until now, there's been no fixed date given, nor has it even been confirmed that the circuit will be given points. This will be a huge problem for players who wish to play in future major championships. LIV Golf hopes for a resolution, but it hasn't been given any feedback on its formal application till now. The tour believes that though sometimes this process may take over a year, that shouldn't apply in this case. Greg Norman, the CEO and commissioner of LIV, sent a letter to players about the OWGR situation, saying that by fair, objective, and impartial view, LIV players should be included in the OWGR point system in the very near future. He said that this is not only the best interest for LIV Golf, but also for the integrity and fairness of the world rankings. That's a wrap for this video. Did you tune in to see Cameron Smith win? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this one. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.